Good afternoon, everyone. We'll just wait for a few more seconds for everyone to come in. It's a good opportunity to introduce yourself, what type of business you have, or what type of business you're starting to launch, as I'm more than happy to present, moderate in today's conversation, in today's webinar in Startup Start Right. My name is Jesus Padilla. I am the Assistant Director at the Florida SBDC at FIU, and I am more than happy to present today's conversation and also engage with you with different ideas, tidbits in terms of how to start your business, the next steps on how we can assist you with your business needs. So definitely encourage you to introduce yourself, what type of business industry you'd like to pursue, and like that, throughout today's conversation, I'll be able to provide some of different examples, tidbits, to provide more of the next conversation. Some general housekeeping items. This is a recorded webinar, so in case if you have to step out, answer a phone call, don't worry, all participants will be receiving today's presentation along with the recording as well, with additional resources to enhance your business needs. Definitely, I strongly encourage you to like and subscribe our YouTube channel as we have a plethora of recorded webinars to enhance the conversation with our business consultants. And if you haven't done so yet, definitely encourage you to register for a consultation that our consultants will be able to assist you at no cost. If you have any questions throughout today's Q&A, definitely encourage you to put them in the Q&A section or in the chat, and I am more than happy to answer those questions on your behalf as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So my name is Jesus Padilla. I am the Assistant Director here at the Florida SBDC at FIU and is part of the National Network of America's SBDC. That is funded through a cooperative agreement with the U.S. Small Business Administration. Along with the Florida SBDC network here on the Florida SBDC at FIU, we have 9 regional centers across the entire state of Florida. So if you're looking to expand your business from Miami to Orlando, or if you're located outside of Miami-Dade, Monroe County, I am more than happy to connect you with your local SBDC. But if you're thinking of launching your business here in Miami-Dade, Monroe County, we are your local SBDC. And what are some of the services that we provide is the one-on-one business consulting, such as the startup assistance, access to capital, marketing, operations and growth strategies, government contracting, but at the same time, the information, the data, the market research to make sure that you're making those key strategic decisions um, fully executed to make sure that you're marketing the right customers of your product and services. But at the same time, we also have trainings and workshops to assist to carry on the conversation. Now, if you're interested to do business with the government agencies, we also partner up with the Apex Accelerator program as it provides consulting, training, and information to help the small businesses in the researching, the bidding process on government contracts with Department of Defense, Department of War, other federal, state, and local agencies as well. So it's a good opportunity for you to expand your business operations, to do business with the federal government agencies and also the local and state side as well. In doing so, our center has been in operation since 2014 here in Miami-Dade County and 2018 in Monroe County. And one of the key figures that I definitely encourage to focus on it is that we have worked with close to 9,000 small businesses, but as a result, over 581 small businesses have successfully launched. That is from our consultants, our clients, the tenacity, the discipline, the determination to create an economic impact in the community. So this is the first step of our conversation on how we can assist you with the next steps and how can we assist you, connect you with partners in Miami-Dade County, the ecosystems to help you to alleviate some of those pain points with you. And by doing so, we were recognized as a national SBDC in 2023. In doing so, not only with our 18 specialized consultants, we have consultants that can assist you with access to capital, marketing, international trade, startup assistance. So any areas of assistance that you're looking for, we have a specialized consultant that can assist you within that regard. In doing so, I am, once again, I am Jesus Padilla. I'm the assistant director here at the Florida SPDC at FIU. I have worked with the SPDC for over a decade. I have co-consulted in the startup and the marketing side by providing those innovative tips to entrepreneurs on what it takes to be successful. I myself am that entrepreneurial spirit as well, as I have multiple side hustles that have scaled the business. And at the same time, I'm a three-time alum at FIU with a master's in business and a master's in marketing. Yes. And then, yes, I have a question here in regards of the market research. Absolutely. There are going to be some slides in the planning side, which is I think the next 10 slides you'll be seeing that information. But our consultants, they also have data access for the full market research. So that definitely goes more in depth of the demographics, the profiles, the makeups of the clients that you like to tailor to. But then at the same time, think on a bigger picture that if you want to do your services or your products in one particular part of the city or county, what other profiles or makeup of those similar clients are in other parts of the county as well. So our consultants would definitely will help you with the market research, different tips as well. So definitely, Elizabeth, just be on the lookout with those slides. And if I don't provide them to you, just send me an email, put it in the chat, and I'll be able to help you out with those resources as well. Then doing so, I'm putting my information in the chat. So like that, in case if any of you have any additional questions, by all means, shoot me an email. We're family. So just full disclosure in today's conversation, I'm not a legal professional. I'm not an accountant. So all information is for informational purposes. We're not going to be covering all the different circumstances, different scenarios. So we're just going to dance a few songs, but we're not going to dance the whole party. So definitely encourage you to follow up with your legal professional, accountant professional to go over some of those areas, as no two businesses, no two industries are the same. So just be mindful in that regard. So once again, we're gonna get started. So if you have any questions, by all means, I encourage you to put them in the Q&A or in the chat. And throughout today's presentation, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. So before I begin, I just wanna, you could put your information in the chat or you could raise your hand. How many of you are in business or planning to start a business? Where are you in one of these areas? Are you in the idea phase? Have that idea on paper, how to implement it? You have already registered your business. Now, what are the next steps? Are you looking for financing? Have you already started your business, but now need to know the what's next conversation? So you could definitely put in the chat where you at in any of these four pillars. So like that, we'll be able to have some additional conversations, ideas with today's presentation. Idea phase, planning, perfect. Okay, awesome. All right, congrats on registering the business. Perfect. Okay, financing. Okay, interested in start a short-term rental business. Perfect. Yep. Yeah, and with the short-term rentals, that's when we have to definitely touch base with the local municipalities based on what permits, what licensing is needed in that area. Okay. There you go. Awesome. That's great to hear. Perfect. So okay, perfect. So idea, planning, sorry, fantastic. Financing. Yes, yes. Financing is always the one that everyone goes to because it's always how to find the respective financing. But the good thing is that think of it like this: these are the four key pillars as the four key walls of a house that you want to have a good foundation so everything is neatly organized, stabilized, so you could definitely grow for the future. So in the idea phase, there's different avenues how to start a business. If it's based on industry experience, family business, even something they've been passionate about on that side. So there's different opportunities, different ways on how to start a business. So like I said earlier, no two businesses, no two industries are the same. And even if we're in the same industry, there's always a big demand in the marketplace that you're able to satisfy a small percentage of that market as well. So by doing so, this is where you some good strategies it is you don't need to start something from scratch or a new product or service. So some of the most successful companies did not create those products or services. Instead, they brought those innovative strategies, how to um, excel, how to enhance the overall customer experience. So this is where one of the buzzwords in today's conversation is going to be value proposition. That is a good opportunity for you to understand what is your value proposition in the marketplace. How are you able to stand out amongst the other competitors as well? And if you don't know your value proposition, don't worry. That is where our consultants will be able to assist you to define the value proposition, your mission statement, your vision statement, along with your overall marketing strategies as well. So this is where you're able to start having a good understanding of lowering your cost, creating that competitive advantage. But you have to be careful because if you have a lower cost of your product or service, what is the quality of that brand? Like if you prefer something that costs $50 versus $1, but what's the overall experience? So, and that's just like anything in life. Like if we're buying food from a nice fancy restaurant, the steak will be X amount of dollars. So you expect a good quality versus a restaurant that's offering the same steak for $1. What is the overall experience? But at the same time, this is where we're able to start creating a competitive advantage by doing a market research of your competitor weakness. What are they doing that you're doing better? Or what are they doing that you're not doing, but how can you elevate and enhance that particular experience or wake point? So that creates your competitive advantage. And if you don't have that how to do so, don't worry. I would put a note right here that I'll be emailing you my presentation of Marketing 101 that will definitely have some of those questions, additional resources on how you're able to start implementing the planning phase. So you're able to have a good understanding how much capital you would need afterwards to implement those strategies so you can be successful as well. So by doing so, this is where you have to focus on the three pillars of planning your business is understanding your market. Just like when you enter a room, like you have to read the room, who's there. So this is where you're able to understand your market. Then you're able to implement developing your business model and creating a business plan. So before I proceed, has any of you created a business plan or thinking of developing a business plan? If you have done so, how was that experience? If you haven't done so, why haven't you? Is it stress? Is it hard? Is it overwhelming? I just want to get to know more about your overall experience in developing the business plan. And you can put in the chat on the business. I have a business plan outline. Perfect. Absolutely. I love it. Yes. I agree. It's hard, but at the same time, it's rewarding. But like the way how I say it, like I want you to be stress free. Like obviously everyone has a lot of stressors, but in this journey, in this conversation, I want you to be stress free, be yourself. I will be providing you some additional resources on developing, enhancing the business plan, to make sure that everything is accurate and on point with the information. Awesome. I love that you already have some of the key pillars or the part points of the components of the business plan. I like it. So by doing so, this is where how you're able to understand the wait, I'm sorry about that. All right. Let's see. Right here. Yep, perfect. Yep. Perfect. I love it. Thank you for attending the all the webinars. And yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. You're not alone. We're here with you and helping you out. So I know that I think it was Elizabeth, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Elizabeth, this is your slide right here. In regards of the other free databases that you could definitely do the market research by understanding your customers, the additional free resources that you could definitely take advantage of, such as the U.S. Census Bureau, the Federal Reserve, Department of Labor. But at the same time, the SBA has some additional resources that you could definitely do the market. But at the same time, we have additional resources since we're part of the Florida SBC network. Some of our consultants have access to additional databases that will definitely condense all the information, the data points, to make those strategic decision making a lot easier, a lot quicker, and more cost effective. So this is going to be one of your key slides, Elizabeth. But by doing so, this is how you're able to understand your market. Some factors to consider is the potential demand. Is it decreasing, increasing the market size? How many competitors are in that market? Along with those economic indicators, house location and pricing. We have had a client that spent $60,000, I'm sorry, $600,000 in developing a daycare center. That's fantastic. That's a big demand. Everyone needs a daycare center. But what she didn't realize that she didn't do the market research. She did it on a 55 and over community, the the daycare center. Well, all the kids will be at grandparents' house, but there's no young families with young children. As opposed, she could have done that market research at another part of the city or county. That yes, they may have been other competitors, but instead develop a range of within a radius of 3 miles. This is my direct market right here, and the pricing with the other competitors to make sure that you're doing a competitive analysis along elevating the overall value proposition. What is the compelling statement that other customers would choose you versus others? And boom, here's a slide. The value proposition is a clear, compelling statement on what unique value you're bringing to the party or to the market. This is where you're able to start having a good self-assessment of yourself. What do you offer to the customer? What are the needs you're satisfying? And how you're different from the competition? These are some key questions you definitely need to have a self-analysis. And oftentimes, when I ask our clients, what is your value proposition, and I ask them these three questions, they tell me I'm offering everything to the customer. I'm satisfying all their needs. I have no competition because I'm the best one. But if you have the competition, you actually have a market for the services that you're providing. So this is how we're able to enhance, mold, so you could definitely develop a good value proposition. So because that builds out your marketing, your branding, and communications of who you are in the everlasting competitive marketplace. And also, this is how you're able to develop the business model by the go-to-market strategy. It's what are the tactics, what are the processes that you're able to set yourself apart from your competition, and at the same time identify your target market, your customer, how it will reach your customers, but at the same time outlining those pricing models. So this is your overall compass for you to be successful in the marketplace. Now, I know that we discussed a little bit in the business planning. So this is where a lot of entrepreneurs they lose track when it comes to drafting the business plan. But don't let the idea of drafting a business plan delay you the opportunity to move forward. Focus on getting the idea out of your head and put it on paper so that you're able to start building the outline, the roadmap. Because at the end of the day, a good business plan helps you navigate your business towards that strategic decision. So the good thing about being a small business owner, you're able to pivot, you're able to adapt to the current challenges, the current demand in the marketplace. So think of it as a canoe in a canal versus a cruise ship in a canal. What's easier to make a three-point turn, a cruise ship or a canoe? By you're able to adapt to the current marketplace, you're able to have a good stronghold of the marketplace of when the time is right for that demand. So I'm gonna go over briefly of the key components of a business plan of and it elaborates in the key pillars as who you are, why you're in business, what you do, how you do it, how you operate, where you operate, how will you generate profits, who are your customers, and why is your business important. Nobody knows better of your vision of your business better than you do. Oftentimes, I've seen folks create ChatGPT, a business plan of, but at the same time, it doesn't have the human connection as the why. Why are you in business? Or just like I could ask you right now, like, why do you want to open your business? And put it in chat, like if it's the flexibility, being your own boss, building a legacy, what is your purpose of being an entrepreneur? Is it based on the experience that you have? Is it more a passion that you've always wanted to do? So this is a good opportunity for you to have a good self-assessment as to why you're in business. Okay. Right here, I got one for family legacy. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's where, AI will not be able to provide that emotion to it. Yep. So this is where we're able to start building out the blueprint for your success for the business plan. We have the executive summary. One tidbit or one tip for the executive summary of the business plan: save the executive summary for last. You're bringing save the best for last because the executive summary brings everything together as you briefly explain and describe the other key components of the business plan, so that you're able to have the reader engaged so they could continue following along, reading along. Who are your key personnel, the operating procedures, the industry. In addition, the competitive analysis. Who are your customers? How's the market? How's the product and services that you're offering? How's your marketing? Along with the sales strategy, the financial breakdown. You have to understand your numbers. What is your P&Ls, your financial statement, your cash flow statement? What's your break-even assets? This is where we have consultants that have a vast experience in to help you to understand your numbers so you can be confident, comfortable, so you're able to present these figures to the respective lender or any other provider to obtain the necessary funds to start your business and to scale your business. But at the same time, this is how you're able to add more seasoning to your business in terms of the optional appendices, how you're able to send out if it's additional certifications, blueprints, awards, articles of how to build credibility in the marketplace. But at the same time, like I know that some of you have started a business plan or haven't started one yet. This is a good opportunity to develop a business model canvas. Does not replace a business plan though, but it helps you put those ideas on paper as it has the key components of a business plan, but as a good outline for you. So part of the emails that I'll be providing you, it's gonna have how to develop a business model canvas. So like that, our consultants will be able to assist you with the next steps and like at the end of the day, I want to enhance the overall experience and conversation from today's conversation with the follow-on assistance as well. And once again, use the executive summary to catch the reader's interest and draw in potential partners, bankers, investors to read on. But just what we talked about earlier, based on understanding your market, like reading the room, when you're ready to write your business plan, understand a good plan is tailored to your specific audience. But then at the same time, when it's time for the financing component, this is how you're able to start calculating the overall expenses, if it's going to be a brick and mortar, a service, or online based. But then at the same time, start anticipating how much you expect to have expenses, if it's going to be office space, inventory, equipment, licensing, and break them apart if they're one time or monthly expenses. You should calculate at least 1 year of monthly expenses, but projecting from 3 to 5 years is even better, as that um, goes over with your business plan for the 3 to 5 years of goals. So definitely helps you to carry on the conversation versus leaving the reader as a cliffhanger. What's going on after years 2 and 3 and onwards? So this is a good opportunity for you to have a good understanding of your finances for at least 3 to 5 years. But by doing so, this is how you're able to start understanding your numbers, your books, what's your revenue forecast, how much money you have in need, when and how your business expects to make profit, along with the three financial statements, the projected balance sheets, cash flow projections, and the P&Ls. The balance sheets, it reports the company's assets, liabilities, and shareholder equity. The good thing is that everyone that is present today is receiving the presentation along with additional resources, but definitely these links actually do work to help you put them in your business plan and you're able to plug and play and it calculates everything for you. For the balance sheet, along with the cash flow projections, it's the amount of money entering and leaving your business over a given period of time. But then at the same time, have a good understanding your financial obligations. Do you have sufficient cash flow to obtain an additional debt for business for machinery or equipment, or are you below or ahead of your overall projections of the year or on a quarterly basis? So this is a good opportunity for you to understand where you stand on how the money is entering and leaving through your business. But at the same time, in the P&Ls, this is how you're able to calculate your fixed and variable expenses. If it's helps you to understand where each item or line item of your business is coming to and from and how it's being used. So this is a good opportunity for you to understand your P&Ls, to understand your cash flows and your balance sheets so like that you have a good confidence, good understanding of your finances, so like that you're able to own the table when the time is right with the respective financial institutions. While it's the break-even analysis, this is where it's the number of sales, the sales threshold that needs to be surpassed before the business becomes profitable. This is a good opportunity for to have a good understanding when you're in the black. So your business is scalable, it's growing, becoming profitable, so that you're able to be more have in the lenders have more an appetite to lend you respected funds. But at the same time, no two businesses, no two industries are the same. So this is where most businesses they start with bootstrapping as a good way to retain ownership um, of the business, but at the same time, the direction of the business. But at the same time, I want you to be risk averse and be calculating with have a calculated risk. So if you're not careful with your finances, with the capital, it will delay your retirement if you're not careful. So this is a good opportunity for you to have a good understanding of how can we stretch that dollar for a bigger return investment. Well, by doing so, there's different avenues, different ways to get financing. There is bootstrapping as such yourself. There are some small business grants, mission-based lenders, CDFIs, SBA microloans, or loan opportunities, family and friends round. If you're doing family and friends round, definitely encourage you to put everything in writing. What are the terms? What are the payment processes? Because if you're not careful and you decide to spend that on a yacht, on a vacation, on a cruise, Thanksgiving is going to be really awkward when it's time to pay up. So definitely have everything on paper because at the end of the day, that is a transaction. Any commercial loans, crowdfunding, peer-to-peers, angel investors, venture capital, and equity. So this is where you could be in any of these points, but at the same time, you could definitely have multiple points as well. So this is where our access to capital consultants would do a financial forensic analysis to see which is the best opportunity, the best route for you to obtain financing, but at the same time to scale the business and repay the respected lender as well. But at the same time, there's other factors that we need to have into consideration. The stage of your business, the industry, the business structure, what type of capital needs you need, along with the credit history, other factors such as the small business finance. So once again, no two businesses are the same, no two industries are the same, but definitely is a good opportunity to have a good starting point when obtaining business financing. Now we're going to a launching phase, and this is where we'll be discussing the four major business ownership, which is the sole proprietor, which is a one-person operation, a partnership, which is two or more people legally agree to become co-owners, corporation, which is a legal entity with authority to act and have liability apart from its owners, and one of the most common ones is the LLC, that it offers protection from your business liabilities for any debts, along with your personal. So it separates from your personal with the business. But like I said earlier, no two businesses are the same. So that's when you definitely touch base with the accountant, with the legal professional for those considerations of your business registration. And at the same time, what factors to consider? It's the personal liability, the taxes, the paperwork that's required. But at the same time, the SBA has a really good guide to see which is the general trades for each of those business structures. So a good opportunity for you. And before I proceed with the next slides, I just wanna put in the chat or you respond to the chat. Have you done research on Sunbiz of the possible business name that you're looking to register as? Or is this the first time seeing Sunbiz? Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. I like it. That is the number one thing that or action that I strongly encourage everyone to do. It's make sure that the possible business name that you would like to. Okay, yeah. I would definitely would like for you to do is do the research, do a due diligence, because like that, you want to make sure that no similar names are the same as the one that you want to register, because you don't know what's their business ethics, of that particular business. Same time, you don't want to be associated, um, based on that particular name of business. So definitely, it's about branding and your reputation. So just be mindful on that side. Definitely, the SunBiz has really good resources on how to register the business, what legal forms you need, the what regulations, and also where applicable, do a fictitious name as well. So these are really good. It's a really good website that I strongly encourage you to tab it, save it, highlight it, in terms of how to do the annual reports, how to amend something, how to change your existing name, the address, anything along those sorts is a really good, help desk, as well, that could definitely answer any key questions that you might have. But at the same time, this is where we're here to help you to cross the T's and dot the I's to make sure that your business registration is in good standing. Yes, yeah. Sometimes the EIN is it takes a while, and this is where, getting the EIN helps to create like pretty much like the overall identity, like the social security number of the actual business, which helps with the, registering the business entity, obtain business loans, at the same time, business bank accounts and other tax filing and reporting purposes. So this is like, think of it like the step two. So you created a business, then getting the EIN to make sure that everything is in good standing for the next steps, which is the the licensing, the permits to make sure everything's fully compliant. So I know that some of you are located here in Miami-Dade County, Monroe, or outside of our region. That's not a problem. So this is, definitely a good opportunity to look at what are the city or county resources that is needed for your particular industry or business based on what permits, licensing, and requirements is needed. So this is where the Miami-Dade County resources, comes into play of how to start a business to make sure that you're fully compliant. And at the same time, this is how you're able to have a local business tax receipt. Um, it's every year from October 1st to September 30th. So think of it as renewing your car tag. This is where you're able to start, display it, prominently in your business, but at the same time, check with the county and your city's website for additional business information and resources as well. Yeah. In regards of your respected question, I'm interested in my trust owning my LLC. Should I get an EIN for trust first? That is where, having a conversation with your accountant or legal professional, to make sure what are some of the bylaws, depending on what state or, you're in. But definitely, I encourage you to speak with your accountant in, or legal professional. Do you have recommendations for a registered agent? I cannot be endorsing one or the other. There are some registered agents that could do it for you, but at the same time, they get all the information, and how trustworthy are they to deliver any information that you get from some biz or business registration comes to you, because the registered agent is the one that's managing the business operations of of within the state. So that's, you have to be mindful in that regard. But you could definitely put yourself as a registered agent if you don't, if you want to go that route. And we have consultants that can assist you, and also within your local SBDC as well. Okay. So one of the good slides of this particular, presentation, it is this slide. This is the A1 slide that I strongly encourage you to take a picture, screenshot it. This is this is the slide. Yeah, so that's when, strongly encourage you to touch base with your local SBDC, to obtain a registered agent to see, which is the best, route, if they have any recommendations in that particular, industry. So with the additional resources, this is bplans.com. It's a really good website to input your respective information, and it helps you to develop a business plan along looking at some biz in the state of Florida, what resources is needed. The SBA launch guide helps you to develop those strategies to start up your business the right way, along with Miami-Dade County and the state of Florida. So this is on a micro to a macro scale of making sure that the foundation is deeply rooted so that the four walls of the idea phase, the planning, the financing, and the launching phase is stabilized. So you could definitely have that housewarming party, the grand opening for your business. So before I proceed, I'm gonna put a poll. Um, and so I could launch a poll. It'll be three questions. But at the same time, I'm gonna give you the secret sauce for today's start formula. So I want to give you the opportunity to start implementing some of these strategies as a small checklist. I want to make sure that you're making your business legit. There's 13 steps. It's choosing the business name. I know that some of you have already developed a business name already, which is fantastic. Now the second step is choosing the business address, your business entity, and then register your business. So that is where you're able to start doing the crossing the T's, and then making sure everything is a good standing. By registering your business, that's how you're able to get your licensing, your permits, and getting that EIN number that you need for the next steps. Opening that business bank account, consider getting a microloan or business credit card, and start establishing that business credit. That definitely helps you to become bankable for the bigger institutions, the bigger loan amounts. But this is how you're able to start understanding your books, setting it up based on QuickBooks, different opportunities for you to understand your numbers. Then we go on the digital marketing side, which is creating your website, getting a business phone number. Because at the end of the day, once you're a business owner on call 24/7. So definitely encourage you to get a Google business phone number so that no one's calling you on your cell phone. And you now with AI, you could definitely have like a chat box, a help desk just to get messages. And then at the same time, register your business with online services. This is a good opportunity for you to enhance, scale your business with digital marketing, with Google, asking for Google reviews, anything on those sorts for your name is out there in the community because at the end of the day, you want to scale and create that economic impact in the community. So I'm gonna give you all the presentation. You're gonna love me, but at the same time, you're gonna hate me with all the information I'll be providing your way with the resources for marketing 101, the marketing resources, the business plan information, along with the 13-point checklist. So you're gonna get a plethora of additional resources. At the end of the day, I want you to be successful, but at the same time, we start as strangers, we're gonna leave as family and to help you out. Yes, I'll talk about more about Google telephone number. Yes, you could definitely get a Google telephone number and it'll be a separate phone number tied to your cell phone. It's free. You could do text message and people could call you. And it routes you from that Google number to your personal cell phone. So like that, no one's you're not sharing your cell phone or private number to the public. So it definitely helps. I do have a Google Voice number, and it's been a lightsaver. So definitely encourage you to have that route as well. So it's different opportunities, but like I said, do due diligence, which is the best one for you, and it'll be very helpful for you in the tail end. Okay. Okay. Are there any additional questions that you might have? Let's see. Uh, yes, it's no cost. Google Voice number is no cost. Yep. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so Jessica, I have one question. Yep. QuickBooks, yes, absolutely. That's where I was going with it, but I can't be endorsing one entity or the other. But yes, QuickBooks does offer business software. And then in terms of trademarks, that's legal assistance. That's outside the scope of our services. But I could make some referrals, some introductions on the legal professionals but that's where you have to do due diligence to see which is the best opportunity, which lawyer, legal professional can assist you in that area. Um, there are some grant opportunities out in Miami-Dade County, and I could email that as well. So I'll provide that information as well on one email. Okay. I'll put my email address, so in case if you have any additional follow-up questions, by all means, you could email me. And then let me see. Let me just provide the some additional information right here in the chat. Okay. Let's see. Yep, perfect, Elizabeth. Then we saw another one. Yes, building the website. That's gonna be part of the marketing resource information. You could definitely use Canva. There's Fiverr. There is different entities as well to develop a website. My recommendation is register the business first, and then you start doing the domains afterwards or in social media channels. Because we actually had a client that actually did backwards. She spent over $5,000 on the web hosting, domain, logos, social media, but the name was already registered for another entity. So someone already had it. So imagine all the rebranding and the cost that had to incur afterwards. So definitely we do have consultant Meredith that could definitely help out with building out your website, what you need, the SEO analysis, um how much how many tabs you gotta have in your website. So think of it as the Goldilocks approach. You want to educate the person that's on your website, but you want to make sure that you have the right information, a way that they could easily understand. Because if you do a lot of information, they might get overwhelmed. If you put very little, they did not answer that question for you that they might have. So having a good approach in terms of what is just right that will get the point across, but also encourages them to contact you with the next conversation. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I have answered all the questions. But like I said, I want to thank you all for attending today's webinar. I put the link for consultation in the chat. But like I said, definitely encourage you to connect with us. You could visit our website, which is sbdc.fiu.edu. You could go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe, as we have a plethora of recorded webinars. But then at the same time, we also have upcoming events, promote them in throughout our different social media channels as well. But like I said, any way that we can do to assist you, once again, our services is no cost, and we're more than happy to assist you, connect with you any way we can, either here in Miami-Dade County, Monroe County, state of Florida, or outside the state of Florida. I could help you out in regards to connecting you with your local SBDC, resource partner in the ecosystem, any way I can. Count on me as a tool in your toolbox for you to be successful and scale your business. So I want to thank you, everyone, once again. And if there's any additional questions, by all means, shoot me an email. I'm more than happy to answer those questions for you. So thank you, everyone, and have a good afternoon. Take care.